listen, they walk through fire. Bodies weary, spirits tested, but from the ashes they rose brighter. Two women, two warriors, and two women, two warriors, two stories stitched with love. Scars don't chain us down, they're maps of battles won. We rise together, stronger than before, turning pain to power, opening the door. Voices like a lighthouse, shining through the storm. The strength of a woman is to rise and rise once more. The world whispered, too hard, too heavy. They answered back, watch us. Even when the pain tried to break them, they move the mountains with love. Oh, we rise together, stronger than before, turning pain to power, opening the door. Voices like a lighthouse, shining through.
Oh, my Lanta. Welcome in, everybody. Please pull up your water, blow your nose, like, love, share, do all the things that make this space ripple effect so we can push this out to the world as a collective. Because the only way this is all going to come together and step together, if you're going with me, is if we do it collectively. I am Drita, and this is Grit and Glitter. This is our cycle segment, and you will see what I mean soon. I try to do this without any bias. Denise is here for moral support, but this is a segment I was doing, and she's always here to help me in anything I want. But in all honesty, she's got a lot going on, just like I do. So she's just kind of here in the background doing all my tech stuff. And I'm very grateful to her, and doing this journey with her has been so refreshing and enlightening. So I love you, girl. Thank you for everything that you do for our space. You are incredible. And everybody else too. You guys always being here. Jody, Wicked, Big, Stacy, everybody that comes in, Miss Lori. I love you guys. And here comes Bree, and here's Wendy. All these people come in, and you don't have to. You could be anywhere in the world. The reason I came in today is because I wanted to join things that are usually considered taboo. I wanted to put them together. So I'm going to try to do that as best as I can because we have so much going on. Today, we're going to talk about what I've decided, and Denise even helped with this as well, as we're going to call the segment Under One Sky. Sacred cycles across cultures. And you'll see why in a moment. The big idea here is that humans follow the sky. Before we had clocks, we had the sky. And in every culture, Christian, pagan, Eastern, indigenous, all of these cultures watched the sun, the moon, the seasons, the stars. All spiritual observances come from watching light change. Please remember that. All spiritual observances come from watching light change. Ha! This fits in so well to me with our brand, Grit and Glitter, because grit equals shadows, discipline, fasting, and humility, while glitter is resurrection, celebration, feasting, and renewal. Shadow and light are partners, the yin yang. Oh, I love you. Thank you so much. And it absolutely fits in with what I talk about with synchronicity, extraordinary in the ordinary, the cycles, the shadow work, the light work, the choice. We're not erasing difference here. We are going to reveal a rhythm. So, again, buckle up, buttercups, grab your waters, go blow your nose. And with that being said, let's take a deep healing breath in. With that exhale, I want you to exhale the last like 18 years of your life. If you haven't been here that long, that's okay. Not because you're going to erase it, but because it's time to move on from that human that you were into this human you've been talking about, the human that you've been manifesting, the human that you have fought all your battles to become. It's your time. It's your time. So, we're going to start out today with the Lunar New Year. The Lunar New Year is celebrated in many Asian cultures, such as China, Vietnam, Korea. It begins on the first new moon of the lunar calendar. The key meanings here are renewal, letting go of the old year, the old you, the old habits, the old structures that you built for yourself. I was looking for a right word to use here, and it's structures that you built for yourself, cleaning your home, doing symbolic purifications like that, your workspace, your car, inviting prosperity and good fortune after you've taken that stuff away, because when you take away you want to fill back up, otherwise there's room for anything to fill it up, right? So today, again, we aren't trying to do anything other than establish a rhythm that is throughout every culture, every belief system. The moon dies and the new moon is then reborn. That theme will echo through everything. This whole spirituality is about rebirth through the cycles of the moon as far as the lunar New Year goes. The fire horse year comes from this Chinese zodiac system celebrated during the Lunar New Year. It's one of 12 animals, one of 5 elements, and the 12 animals is horse. The 5 elements is fire. And this is a 60-year cycle when these two line up like this. So a fire horse again year only happens every 60 years. And this represents movement, freedom, independence, momentum, passion. Again, that's what that horse represents. And then that fire adds intensity, transformation, illumination, and destruction that clears the way. Not destruction that is tearing everything down, destruction that clears away. I want to be frank about that. And again, it's not asking this time if you are ready. It's just asking if you're willing. So jump in, you guys. I mean that. So today we are also going to talk about how this symbolism comes in also from that new moon, that darkness before the light, the clean slate, like the reset. And there's hidden potential there. On Ash Wednesday, we get into that in just a second. We're going to talk about humility, morality, reset, and spiritual beginning. We're going to also talk about Lent, discipline, inner work, and then stripping the excess, again, that destruction to make a way. Easter, resurrection, renewal, emergence. Again, all of these things move in cycles. Different traditions, same arc. Darkness, reflection, fire, rebirth. Repeat. If you know those things, also, I think if you're aware of those things, you know what's coming and you know how to utilize those things to your advantage, to the advantage to help others. You could use it in a bad advantage too. You could use it to hurt others. Again, we always imagine the worst case scenario. I want to invite you guys to start imagining the best case scenarios. Again, this is a fire horse and lunar eclipse and Ash Wednesday. And we're going to get to all that. It's just so many things. So we're going to put the fire horse with the Lent and all of the things that we're going to do. So let's talk about what that is. The solar eclipse that happened this morning is when the moon passes in between the earth and the sun. And this is again light temporarily swallowed by darkness, fear, awe, revelation. We have shadow confronting light at that point. Again, temporary, but it is happening. And in ancient pagan traditions, eclipses were powerful transformation portals. They still represent shadow work, sudden awakening, and hidden truths revealed. And we see that in our nation, we see that in our world, and I'm seeing that myself. So I have to say, everything that's here is on point as far as my cycle is going. This all is familiar because, again, Christianity has this rhythm as well. What's up, Papa? Thanks for coming in. We're going to move, though, over real quick to Fat Tuesday. It's all connected. It's wildly connected. And the reason These all coming together is just so powerful. Fat Tuesday or Mardi Gras come from the medieval European Christian tradition. It happens the day before Ash Wednesday, and historically, people would eat rich foods, and the next day they would begin to fast. So it's like indulgence before the discipline, right? So Fat Tuesday really, literally was the celebration before sacrifice, the indulgence before the discipline, abundance before restraint. Again, that yin yang, we're seeing a rhythm again. We're establishing a rhythm. There's a pattern here. We could almost make a song with this, I think. And the interesting connection with this is pagan winter festivals often included feasting before the harshness of the late winter, because that's where we're going into this. Well, in Texas it's the fake spring, but we won't talk about that. Again, feast, fast, light, shadow, indulgence, reflection. It's the same rhythm. Ash Wednesday begins the season of Lent in Western Christianity. In churches like Roman Catholic, Lutheran, Anglican, or excuse me, communion, ashes are placed on the forehead in the shape of a cross, and the words are often spoken, remember you are dust, and to dust you shall return. I'm also streaming on two other platforms, you guys. So apologies. I'm trying to look and address both of you. So it looks weird when I'm talking to y'all. And I'm also trying to follow a very strict outline that I have here because it's easy to get off track here. There's so much going on. And the meaning within this whole Ash Wednesday is the morality, humility, reflection, repentance, and turning inward. This is about a sacrifice. The ashes symbolize the death of the ego, awareness, and impermanence. You are not here forever. You are destructible. Many pagan traditions emphasize during this season the death before rebirth, the descent into darkness, honoring the shadow, and earth to earth cycles. Let's laugh for a moment. Cycles. And Ash Wednesday is not anti nature, it's actually deeply earthly. Ash is what remains after the fire, right? So the transformation is then complete. And that's why I say repeat. And then we go into the Lent because, again, Ash Wednesday kicks off Lent. That is tomorrow. That is tomorrow. So we have the feast today. Feast, my darlings, because a spiritual war is coming, I believe, is what this all really means. And it could be spiritual within you, it could be all around you. I feel like it's both. That's just me, allegedly. I don't want to get in trouble. So Lent lasts 40 days, not counting Sundays. Did you guys know that? Right? So 40 days of rain in the flood, 40 years in the desert, 40 days that Jesus fasted in the wilderness. All of these things are symbolic. Again, I love to talk about awarenesses and synchronicities and numerology, and all this is therein. Lent prepares Christians for Easter. Practices include fasting, giving something up, prayer, charity, simplifying. It's like a spiritual detox, right? And in pagan traditions, late winter also is a time of scarcity, a time of waiting, conserving resources, and a time before the light returns. Nature itself is in Lent. Trees are bare, seeds are underground, and life is hidden. This is common ground, you guys. Do you see this? It's beautiful. There is a replay if you want to hear what I said before this because I think it's beautiful. But we will absolutely talk about this again and tie it back together. I'm going to come back up here to some notes because there is a way I wanted to tie it together with the fire horse and the Lent and correlate that together. So Lent says, die to your ego so something truer can rise, right? Fire horse energy says, burn what cages you so your authentic self can run. Both involve letting go, both involve transformation, identity shift, and both involve courage. Both are uncomfortable and catalytic. And what does that mean? Catalyst? A catalyst is like, think of a sponge and it has all these pores in it. And think of one of those pores holding in your reaction. It's contained there. It's a catalyst. It's going to hold you there for a minute. And because I always say adversity is a catalyst for creativity, it's going to hold you there for a minute and you're going to brew in there. And then it's just going to go all over the whole sponge. Soak it in, baby. It is a catalyst. The difference is Christian tradition frame it through surrender to God, and Chinese zodiac frame it through cosmic energy cycles. But the rhythm is identical. You cannot rise without burning something first. Phoenix, hashtag Phoenix. Put a Phoenix in the comments if you agree. The timing is also like super interesting to me, like I said, because we're in a lunar new year, a new moon, which is a dark sky, Ash Wednesday, what remains after the fire. And then Lent is going to be stripping the excess, and Easter is when the light returns. Fire intensifies purification. Ash is what's left after the fire. Just, I don't know. I'm so blown away by this, and I just had to come and tell y'all that I thought that this was so profound. This literally is when you place these ashes on your forehead as a symbol of burned matter, a symbol of rebirth is happening. That's what comes next. This emphasizes your transformative fire. This was cute. Whether it's the fire horse galloping us forward, or ashes marking humility, or Lent asking us to fast, every tradition right now is whispering the same thing. Let something old burn so something new can live. Just like a forest, man. Light is returning, spring is coming, energy is shifting. Humans everywhere mark this shift. It's not a coincidence, it's a pattern, it's a rhythm. I want to go over here and talk real quick about the resurrection, because Easter celebrates the resurrection of Jesus Christ. The story, the resurrection story, is a death, a tomb, a darkness, then a rising. Now, if we zoom out on that, spring does the same thing, right? Winter buries the earth, spring resurrects it. Early Christianity spread in Europe among pagan cultures to help new believers understand resurrection. Christian observances aligned with spring festivals. For example, Easter aligns closely with the spring equinox. Some linguistic connections as well, you guys. The word Easter is often linked to estere. I may be saying that incorrectly. Estere, a Germanic spring goddess. Though scholars debate this a bit, still, eggs, rabbits, and ancient fertility symbols long before chocolate bunnies, you guys. Not contradiction, it's translation. Christianity used the language of the land to tell its story, and they are all part of um, the Christian calendar, the specifically the seasons leading up to Easter. It works like this: Fat Tuesday, Ash Wednesday, Lent, then the Holy Week, which starts on Palm Sunday, and then Easter, which is the following Sunday after Palm Sunday. It's a whole story, you guys, and I think that's so cool. And I know that when I was a kid, I used to, unfortunately, associate Mardi Gras with parties and naked girls and beads flying everywhere. And that's not the case at all. It literally means Fat Tuesday. It's the day before Ash Wednesday. People eating that super rich and getting all that nourishment and all that feasting before they fast, before they make that sacrifice. Historically, again, that day began the season of fasting. So it's feast before fast, like I said. Ash Wednesday is the very next day, the beginning of Lent. Again, remembering that you are mortal, turning inward, turning into your humility. The 40 days of Lent, again, representing the 40 days of rain, the 40 days Jesus fasted in the wilderness, preparing before a major spiritual event. People often give up something, fast, pray more, practice charity, or try to find a more simpler, minimal life. It's an example of self examination, repentance, and spiritual reset. Easter does celebrate the resurrection of Jesus Christ. It is also the climax of the whole season. The journey again goes indulgence, humility, sacrifice, death, resurrection, and celebration. Hey, Crystal, what's up? They aren't random holidays just landing near each other, you guys. They are intentionally structured like a story. and they always come around spring. Why? And this is again where it gets interesting. Easter is not fixed to a calendar like Christmas, right? It's calculated based on the spring equinox and the first full moon after it. That means Easter is literally tied to the sun, the moon, and the turning of the seasons. Back to the beginning. Told you we'd get back to the beginning. Spring has always symbolized rebirth, light returning, and life emergence, emerging from dormancy. Emerging from dormancy definitely equivalated to emergency in my head. Yikes! So the church placed the resurrection celebration at the moment nature itself becomes resurrection. And that again is not coincidence. That is alignment, you guys. Are they connected to pagan traditions? Yes. In the sense that Christianity developed in cultures that already celebrated seasonal transitions. Early Christians didn't invent spring symbolism. They interpreted it through the story of Christ. So now it's not a random like overlap that you're seeing. It's literally nature's rebirth, human spiritual renewal, which is the Lent, and resurrection story, which is Easter. A different language again, same seasonal reality, same rhythm. They are all one spiritual arc. And if you think of it like Fat Tuesday as the Last Supper energy, right? Ash Wednesday as the desert, Lent, the wilderness journey, Good Friday, the cross, and Easter as the empty tomb. It is one long breath. I love it broken down like that. And the deeper meaning I would say here is that the entire season teaches you this. You cannot experience resurrection without walking through surrender. Feast, fast, death, rebirth. Not accidental, not random, and not a conspiracy. It's definitely not a coincidence. It is structured. The moon directly between the sun and the earth, the light temporarily blocked, the day turns into twilight. That alone is super dramatic, right? It does feel like everything at once. The late winter, early spring, astronomically active right now. This time of year naturally includes like equinox shifts, lunar calendar resets, Christian season of Lent, sometimes eclipses, because eclipses only happen during specific lunar alignments. Synchronicity, baby. They're all tied to the position of the sun, the moon's orbit, and the earth's tilt. So when you see them stack up, it feels orchestrated, but it really is this. All of these traditions are built on the same sky mechanics. When sky gets dramatic, multiple traditions respond at once. It's not conspiracy, it's astronomy. I love it. So when we sit here and think about what Lent is asking, it's asking what needs to go dark in me is something truer can rise, right? We were talking about that. Something needs to die so something new can live. The solar eclipse shows that even the brightest light can be temporarily, and that's the key word here, temporarily obscured. This is the key though. The sun is never destroyed, it's just covered temporarily. And that does mirror that resurrection theology beautifully, right? In pagan cosmology, the sun dies in the winter and is reborn in the spring. The eclipse symbolism is the light disappears then returns. Do you see the rhythm? Okay, I'm gonna quit beating a dead fire horse. I don't have that in my notes. Don't have that in my notes. That's why it landed so horribly. But I am going to quit beating it because you understand that this is about transformation. It's about death and rebirth. It doesn't mean that somebody's literally going to die. It means that your old self is ready to be reborn. That everything that you've been learning, everything that you've been manifesting, it's now time to put it into motion. Humans feel eclipses deeply because the visibility show what all spiritual traditions teach, which is light and shadow do coexist. It literally is in the sky. When the moon covers the sun during an eclipse, it doesn't destroy the light, it reveals how dependent we are on it. I'm going to read that again. When the moon covers the sun during eclipse, it doesn't destroy the light, it reveals how dependent we are on that light. In every tradition, the season from the Lunar New Year to Easter and Lent is asking the same question. What happens when the light goes dark? And what rises when it returns? I invite you guys to hang out, listen to the little segment I have after that Denise did for me, which I think it is beautiful. And I love y'all. Thank you so much. And whether you are looking at Christianity or culture, we're all beaten to the same drum. I love you guys. I'll see you on Monday, 4 p.m. Central.
Whether you're looking to the cross, the moon, the equinox, or the rising sun, all stand beneath the same sky, waiting, watching, trusting